Hi everyone, Will here from the St. Johns County Public Library System, and we're here for another edition of Homeschool History. I know we tend to focus on Florida and U.S. history, but this month is kind of different. I found this lady in some research for this class, and I thought she was just too cool to not share. So let's go ahead and get started. So this month we're going to be talking about Mary Anning, who is an English paleontologist. Now, I want to make sure it's well aware that she didn't actually have a degree, but that's not really her fault that she didn't have a degree. So in the 19th century, the 1800s, science as we know it is still developing, and that's all sciences. Well, it's medical, paleontology, archaeology, a lot of these things were in their infancy, and they're still figuring out what makes that discipline. It's very much controlled by gender and religion. In England, only men of the Anglican faith, so that they belong to the Church of England, were allowed to join any sort of scientific organization. And these organizations really got you jobs in the different universities, and they made you respectable in ways that if you didn't belong to them, you just weren't taken as seriously. Women especially were not taken seriously in any scientific or historical fields, and this is true for the U.S. as well. There was this idea that women weren't as rational, that they were unable to learn the same things, which we know today is a false assumption. So fossil hunting in the 19th century became extremely popular in England. Everyone was doing it. The Blue Lias Cliffs in Lyme Regis were a hotspot. The upper class society purchased huge volumes of these fossils, mainly to say, look at what I own. And they also sometimes donated those purchases to museums to say, look at how I have contributed to the museum. So this was also a status symbol to be able to purchase these things. But they didn't dig for them. So this is where Mary Anning comes in. She was born in 1799 in Dorset County, England, in the exact hotspot where fossils are found. There's cliffs there. There's all kinds of fossils that are pretty easy to find if you're willing to take the risk. She originally was not a member of the Church of England. Her family belonged to the Dissenter movement. So not only was she a woman, she didn't belong to the majority faith. So she had two things against her on why a lot of men in the scientific field would not take her seriously. Her family started gathering fossils to support themselves. They were pretty poor, and they depended on the income of these fossils to make it through each year. But these are two of her major discoveries, or examples of them. She's the first to find complete skeletons of these two individual fossils here. But her biggest claim to fame is she helped identify these guys right here. They were originally known as bezoar stones, but she discovered and convinced everyone that they were actually fossilized poops. Bezoars were used as an antidote to poison, so that quickly went by the wayside once people realized it was fossilized feces. With that being said, let's head on over to continue the activity portion of this homeschool history. So you're going to get yourself a pot, fill it about a third of the way with water, and set it on high to start the boil. While you're doing that, you're going to want to get your chocolate melts ready. You can use any brand that you're comfortable using. Once you get your water up to a boil or it's starting to get warm, you're going to put those chocolate melts in your metal bowl and put it on top of your pot. And then once it starts to heat up, you want to start stirring the chocolate melts to make sure they all melt. And turn your heat down a little bit if you need to. You don't want to burn the chocolate. Here's a little bit better look at what it's going to start looking like. You see we got the water boiling underneath. And you have all that chocolatey goodness right there. And you're going to continue till all these melts are completely melted into the liquefied. Then you're going to have your little molds, whatever. I have little T-Rexes. You can have whatever you want. Put it on some sort of cookie tray because it's going to be messy. And you're going to take that chocolate here and you are going to spread it into your little molds pretty carefully. So once you're done, you'll end up something like this, and you're going to want some sort of scraper or something to kind of spread out that chocolate to make sure it gets into all the molds. And that's what I'm doing right here. I'm doing my best. I've never actually made little candy chocolates before, so trying to get a little bit better view here. And as you can see, it's pretty messy. So definitely do this in the kitchen and with clothes that it's okay if you get dirty. And I'm just kind of slowly trying to get all that chocolate into those molds. And I'm pretty good right here. I think most of the chocolate is in there. And once I'm done with this, I'm going to set it in the refrigerator to chill overnight. And that's what they look like. So we'll see tomorrow how they turn out. Alright, so I have let my chocolate, I let it chill overnight. It might not take quite as long. So let me just show you what I got. I haven't even broken it open yet. So I have something like this. It's kind of messy. I'm sure you probably figured that out if you did this along with me. So I'm just going to pop one of these little guys out and see what it looks like. And I have a little chocolate dinosaur. I got this particular mold at Walmart. I'm sure Amazon and other retailers have them. You can use whatever you want. If you want to add on to this activity, you could take a baking dish and some brown sugar and actually bury these guys in the brown sugar and use like a little brush, like a old toothbrush or a small paintbrush, and actually do what archaeologists do, which is brush away all that sand and sediment to find the little fossils. So I know this one was pretty quick and simple. I encourage you to look at Mary Anning some more. There's a lot of other women like her who made scientific and historical gains in our like fields that didn't necessarily get the recognition they deserved at the time. Hope you enjoy the activity. I hope you maybe tag us in some pictures if you did it, or do it later. Comment below, give us a like, and I will see you guys later. Have a great day. Bye.